Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to new friends and old friends. Now I'm going to start the first session of the Soul Revelation guidance. I'm doing this in hopefully to help people who have purchased the cards to maybe understand them a little bit more. And for those who haven't, maybe just to perk your interest just a little bit. During the session, I will be going through 5 cards. Each session will be 5 cards, and I will be going through how I've used these cards over the last couple of years, doing demonstrations up and down the country, as to what the cards mean and how you can get the most out of using your cards if you have them. You can also use the cards just as an image if you wanted to for meditation and reflection. You will find on my Facebook profile, you can actually go to the photos and the albums, and on there you will find there are 2 albums on there. One which is Soul Revelation, which details the proofs for all the cards themselves, and then you've also got another album called Inspired Inspiration. That particular album is the original illustrations for the cards before they were tweaked to be made into the deck that they currently are. Alright, without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, well, let's have a see. The first card today that I'm going to discuss is the unknown. Okay? I always believe in yin and yang, so there's always going to be a duality in all these cards. So there's usually 2 meanings to them. Okay? With this one, what I've found with the unknown is the first meaning is things that go bump in the night. The unknown, the paranormal, the things that we don't understand which spook us now and again. Okay? When I get a feeling that it's relating to that, it's usually when I've got a client in front of me who's developing as a psychic or developing as a medium. In reality, 90% of people in life will experience some paranormal event. Okay? Often this is when somebody loses somebody, because our loved ones in spirit do love to come to us and let us know that they're all right. Okay? It's nothing to be afraid of. It happens. Okay? Now, some people might think that's a load of beep, beep, beep. Well, that's up to them. Okay? There is an old saying, if a tree falls in the wood, does it make a sound? Basically, just because you've not experienced something, it doesn't mean it's not true for somebody else. So, if you're of that temperament and you think it's all a load of rubbish, I would be wondering why you're even listening to this video, and I would ask you to scroll on by. Normally I would say jog on by, but as we're in the technological age now, scroll on by sounds just as good. Okay, now I've often found it where this card has come out and you've got somebody who is a developing medium or a developing psychic. Even cases where there's been paranormal activity around the home and they've not really understood it. What I do find is that paranormal activity generally only happens, as a rule of thumb, when there is a medium or a sensitive person thereabouts. Okay? And with it being the unknown, it's usually about that person understanding their own natural aptitude and sensitivity. Okay, now to the other side of the coin, the other side of the unknown. That's where an event happens to us in life which catches us on the hop, totally unexpected, and has some sort of emotional consequence to this. Okay, as an example, I was doing a demonstration and I pulled this card out for a young lady, and she said, there's something that you need to deal with and face up with so you can move on. And she says, no, I've dealt with everything's fine. I says, all right then. And then I says, I've got your gran here, and I described her grandma to her, and then within 3 seconds she was in floods of tears. Why? Because, like most people, when anything drastic happens in our life, we carry on as normal. We try to do everything that we normally do and push whatever has caused us that little bit of trauma to the back of our minds. Okay, but eventually we still have to deal with that. In recognising that we have something to deal with is the first step to any road to recovery, health-wise and mentally. Okay, so I hope that has given you a little bit of insight into the unknown. Okay, the other thing that I will mention is that the inspiration for the unknown is actually the blank rune. So if you have used runes for divination or have just had a passing interest in them, you will also find that the blank rune and your understanding of that will also relate to this particular image, to this particular card. Okay? If you are doing readings, then I would say to you, always go off what you are inspired to say. Whilst you can do a full reading off one card, often people use more than one card to build up a picture and relate that picture to the person in a way that they can hopefully understand, to help them with some guidance along what I term your spiritual journey. And your spiritual journey, whether it be good or bad, is simply life. All right. Now, let's crack on, shall we? The next card, let's have a see. Oh, it's a nice one. This one, it's the renewal card. This one's a lot more colourful. It's actually got something on it, as you can see. What you've got there is you've got the sun. The sun is the source of energy. It brings renewal to life. It's like springtime, where the sun warms the earth and the shoots of the grass start to grow. Okay? It's symbolic of a time where things are starting to open up again. Doors are starting to open up around the workplace. Opportunities are starting to come. Projects that you've wanted to do, you've now got the energy and the opportunity to do them. Okay? The flip side of the renewal card is where we're actually stagnating, where all the opportunities are there, but we don't grasp them. Usually that has more to do with self-confidence than anything else. And what I do find through experience in life, nobody's born confident. We're born arrogant and we're born crying. It's just some people remain arrogant for the rest of their life. The rest of us, we gain confidence through the act of doing. Because it's only through doing things that we enjoy, doing things that we need to do, that we feel that confidence and become proficient in anything. Okay? The only thing I will say to you, if you want to build up your confidence in life, do something you are actually good at. Because being successful at something is always going to be a positive. Being an accountant, if you're number dyslexic, is not the way to go. All right. Anyway, so renewal itself, it's all about that vigour, that energy, and that fresh start feel to everything. In practical terms, it could be, if you say pulled this card in relation to a partnership, it could be a renewing of a vows in a marriage. It could be the coming out of a difficult period. Okay? In a workplace, you could say it's where there's opportunity for growth, where that promotion is within grasp. It could be that now is the ideal time to go self-employed. There are lots of different variations on this, and like I say, it is down to you and how you feel with it. What I would ask you, if you really truly want to understand these cards, is to actually take the word and just reflect upon it. And when I say reflect upon it, I mean try and feel where that has happened within your own life. The cards, the soul revelation cards themselves, are actually designed on the pretense that human experience is actually limited, and there are actually only so many things a human being can go through. which I feel is the reality. It's nice to think that there's an infinite number of experiences, but the reality is there isn't. Okay? And we're all on this journey trying to find our path. Okay. Right then, next card. Let's have a see. Abundance. Okay? This one is a lovely card, nice and simple. As you can see, the Buddha is there. He's quite happily, he's meditating. The universe is around him. He's got everything that he needs. And that is the very nature of abundance. You will always have what you need. You won't always have what you want. And that's where the duality in this card comes out. And the lesson behind this is very, very simple. Okay? If you live for what you need, you'll get to where you want to be. You'll get what you want. But if you live for what you want, you'll never have what you need. Okay? To explain that in practical terms, make it a little bit simpler, is there's a new car, you want to buy it. It's 30 grand. You haven't got 30 grand, you've got 10 grand. So what you do is you put 10 grand down and then take it on hire purchase. And then because you've taken it on hire purchase, you've got no savings anymore. You can't afford to do any savings because you're paying out that much for the car. Yeah? And then 5 years down the line, what? It's not even worth what you paid for it. Whereas if you were a practical person and you live for what you need, instead of buying that flashy 30 grand car, you bought the car that was actually 5 grand for a few years to tide you over. You've then got the opportunity, the extra cash, you can enjoy the extra cash, you've got a bit of spending money. Not only have you got a little bit of spending money, you can put some money to one side, and then in 5 years' time, that car that you really, really wanted, that was 10 grand, that you couldn't afford, all of a sudden is 5 grand, and you can buy it cash. All right. That's a simple explanation of it. Anyway, but I'm sure you get the gist of that. It's with the actual card, you get the feeling of calmness as well, okay? Because I always find we need that calmness in our life, especially when we're making decisions. Otherwise, we have a tendency to make the wrong ones. Okay, let's have a see. The next one after that, I absolutely adore this card. It's very, very, very straightforward. It's basically as it says on the tin. You'll see the hand, it's letting go of the balloon. The meaning, release. Okay? It means let go of all the negativity that you've been holding on to. Really is as simple as that. Let go of any grudges that you've got against other people. Let go against about the frustration that you have about the guy you work with, about your partner putting the cup in the wrong place when you get home. Whatever it is that's really stressing you out, it's about letting it all go and relaxing and just being at peace. Okay? It's also, on a more in-depth view, it's where we have to let go of a relationship which has been absolutely devastating, which, even though it's ended, we're still hoping in our hearts that it's going to come back. And believe me, thousands and thousands of people do that every day, okay? Because we're all human beings and we all share similar experiences. It can be where we've lost somebody and we have to finally put them to rest and accept that they're no longer here. It's about letting go of that emotion, okay? The release that comes with it, okay? Because when you do that, then you're free to experience new things rather than just keep going over that old, okay? If all we do is we sit at home and we're thinking about how we miss something, we're not actually going to be experiencing anything new. So we have to just let it go to allow new things to come into our lives. Okay, next one. Brotherhood. A lovely card, as you can see. It's everybody around a campfire. Okay, now this is quite symbolic, this one. I always think brotherhood. I always, whenever I get this card, I always think of family. Okay, but more to the point, A brotherhood is where people are actually singing from the same hymn sheet. You can have a brotherhood of people at work. You can have a brotherhood in your family. You can have a brotherhood in your church. You can have a brotherhood in your community. A brotherhood is merely where people actually are following the same goals and ideals. Okay? Because that is what makes a community. That is what helps people to work together, helps people to communicate. Okay? And it's also what people do when how could I put it? Stay safe by the campfire. To feel protected from the unknown which is happening outside of their circle. Yeah? Okay? So it is very much a family card. When I said before, there's a yin and yang. If I see this card, I know on the positive it's all about family and all about being a part of a community. On the flip side, it can be where somebody is feeling isolated and they're longing to be a part of a group, to be a part of something better. All right, okay. Next card, let's have a see. Stillness. Absolutely beautiful. If you look at it, it's a single drop of water, okay? But when that drop of water has hit the water, it's splashed out and formed a crown, okay? And it's frozen in time. That is stillness. Stillness is the moment. In reality, that's all there is. Yeah? If you want to make a decision, want to make a change, want to make a difference, you don't make it tomorrow. You didn't make it yesterday. You make it at any one moment. And it's the moment that you're in where your power is always at its strongest. Okay? So if you want to make any changes in your life, you have to be in the moment. It's also symbolic of taking each day as it comes. Accepting life for what it is and being able to move on and taking each day as it comes and realising that every day is a new day. Because it's truly, there is no future, there is no past. There's only what's happening now. And the rest is just a memory or an imagining. Okay? Now, I find that stillness is also ideal for meditation as well. And when I say meditation, it's not always about crossing your legs and going on. It's about finding a happy space for yourself where you can relax. This can be listening to music, it can be taking a dog for a walk, it can be having a bath. It doesn't matter what it is. But in them peaceful moments, that's where you can let go of your stresses and you can find your stillness. Okay? And the only other thing I will say with stillness is you always make your best decisions when your mind is calm. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 6. I may have overrun this time. So before I get carried away and get through the entire deck, I'm going to leave it at that. And hopefully you will tune in for the next episode, for the next session of the Soul Revelation Guidance. All right. Well, it's been lovely chatting to you all. Okay. I hope you all get something from this. Feel free to share. Feel free to like. And feel free to tag anybody in it who you feel may benefit from what I've spoken about today. I will be sharing this on my YouTube channel and it will also be on Facebook. All right. Have a great day, y'all. Have a fantastic evening and I'll catch you all soon. All right. Bye.